The lights were bright, the stage was set, and the Los Angeles Dodgers found themselves in yet another test of resilience against a division rival that has proven to be anything but easy. The Arizona Diamondbacks may not carry the same historic weight as some of baseball's other big names, but they've shown a knack for playing spoiler, for making life miserable for even the most established clubs. On this night, it wasn't just about the final score. It was about what unfolded in those tense middle innings, and it was about one player in particular, Tanner Scott, a left-handed reliever who has been thrust into an increasingly vital role for the Dodgers. When the pressure mounted, Scott faltered, and that left Dodgers manager Dave Roberts with no choice but to deliver a message firm, clear, and impossible to ignore. Tanner Scott came to the Dodgers with plenty of expectations. A live arm, a proven ability to generate swings and misses, and an edge that made him attractive in high-leverage situations. But with the Dodgers chasing a season that is filled with lofty aspirations, everything from reclaiming the National League West crown to pushing deep into October, every mistake is magnified. Against the Diamondbacks, those mistakes stood out even more. Fans saw the command waver. They saw pitches miss their intended spots. They saw a lead evaporate, momentum shift, and frustration boil over. And they heard the crowd react with that uneasy buzz that tells you everyone knows something went wrong. For Dave Roberts, a manager who has built his reputation on balancing trust and accountability, this was one of those moments where silence simply wasn't an option. After the game, Roberts didn't mince words. He didn't bury his pitcher, but he didn't sugarcoat the truth either. He made it clear, Tanner Scott needs to be better. Not tomorrow, not next month now. Because the Dodgers' margin for error is razor thin, and the bullpen is the backbone of any contender once the grind of a long season turns into the intensity of postseason baseball. The Dodgers know this all too well. Over the years, their playoff hopes have often swung on bullpen performances. From the glory of clutch shutdowns to the agony of late-inning collapses, Los Angeles fans have lived through it all. That's why Roberts' words carried such weight. He wasn't just critiquing a single outing. He was sending a reminder about standards, about expectations, about what it truly means to wear Dodger blue. Tanner Scott is no longer a developing young arm trying to find his footing. He's expected to be reliable, to hold leads, to protect the effort that the offense and starting rotation put together. Against Arizona, that standard wasn't met, and Roberts addressed it head-on. The manager's tone after the game was revealing. He acknowledged Scott's talent. He acknowledged the fact that one performance doesn't define a pitcher. But he also pointed out the urgency of the situation. This isn't spring training, where learning curves are forgiven. This isn't a low-stakes environment where numbers don't matter. Every inning, every pitch, every decision contributes to the larger story of the Dodgers' season. And when a reliever can't find the strike zone or can't execute the game plan, it isn't just about personal struggle, it ripples across the team. It forces other relievers to throw more innings, it shifts the burden onto the offense to dig out of a hole, and it leaves Roberts with fewer options in games that come down to one swing. Fans have mixed emotions. Some are frustrated, calling out Scott for not living up to expectations. Others are more sympathetic, understanding that even the best relievers have nights where nothing seems to click. Baseball is cruel in that way. One bad outing can erase weeks of solid work in the minds of viewers. But what makes this moment unique is Roberts' approach. He didn't hide from the truth, and he didn't let Scott off the hook. Instead, he reinforced what it means to compete at this level. For a team with championship aspirations, accountability isn't optional. And here's the thing about Roberts, he's been here before. He's had to make tough calls on pitchers, whether that meant pulling a starter early, shuffling roles in the bullpen, or even leaving a high-profile player off a playoff roster. His job isn't to be a cheerleader, it's to make sure the Dodgers are prepared for the grind of a postseason where every pitch is magnified. With Scott, Roberts seemed to send a message not just to one reliever, but to the entire clubhouse. The message was simple: be ready, be sharp, and understand the responsibility that comes with your role. The Dodgers clubhouse dynamic is fascinating, and this moment adds another layer. Veteran leaders like Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Clayton Kershaw know what accountability looks like. They've seen how one player's struggles can affect the whole team. For Scott, having those voices around him means he won't just be hearing from Roberts, he'll be hearing from his teammates as well. And in a clubhouse where winning is the only goal, that type of peer pressure can be as impactful as anything a manager says. Looking at the numbers, Scott has the raw stuff. His fastball velocity is there. His slider, when sharp, is a weapon. But command has always been the key. Against Arizona, the command abandoned him, and the Diamondbacks took full advantage. In a division where margins are tight and rivalries run deep, the Dodgers can't afford those lapses. Every game matters. Every series sets the tone. And every bullpen meltdown becomes a storyline that opponents will remember the next time they face Los Angeles. Roberts knows that building confidence is part of the job. He can't destroy a player publicly, because confidence is fragile, especially for pitchers. But by speaking firmly, he walked a careful line. He challenged Scott while also leaving the door open for redemption. That's the balance Roberts has always tried to strike, demanding excellence without crushing morale. The Dodgers will need Scott again, and Roberts knows it. This isn't about cutting ties or making a rash decision. It's about lighting a fire, about making sure Scott responds the right way. The baseball season is long, and redemption arcs are everywhere. We've seen pitchers struggle in April only to become October heroes. We've seen relievers booed by fans only to earn standing ovations later in the year. For Tanner Scott, this is his chance. The message has been delivered. Now it's about how he responds. Will he tighten up his mechanics? Will he regain his command? Will he show the Dodgers that he's the guy they can trust when the season is on the line? The coming weeks will reveal the answers. But one thing is clear, Roberts won't hesitate to hold his players accountable. It's part of why the Dodgers remain a perennial powerhouse. They don't shy away from tough conversations. They don't sweep struggles under the rug. They confront them, they adjust, and they demand better. That culture is what separates good teams from great ones. For fans watching this unfold, the emotions are mixed but familiar. The frustration of seeing a winnable game slip away. The hope that a struggling player can turn it around. The curiosity about how the manager will handle the situation. In this case, Roberts gave fans the clarity they wanted. He saw the same mistakes they did. He voiced the same concerns. And by doing so, he reassured the fanbase that he won't let complacency seep in. That's why this moment matters. It's not just about one game against the Diamondbacks. It's about the bigger picture. It's about reminding everyone, players, coaches, and fans, that the Dodgers operate with a standard of excellence. Tanner Scott has the tools, but tools don't win games, execution does. And execution is non-negotiable in Los Angeles. So as the Dodgers move forward, this story will linger. Every time Scott takes the mound, fans will remember Roberts' words. Every pitch will feel like part of a test. Can he rise to the occasion? Can he justify the faith the Dodgers placed in him? Can he flip the narrative from liability to asset? Those questions will be answered not with quotes or press conferences, but with pitches thrown in the heat of the moment. And that's what makes baseball beautiful. Redemption is always one inning away. One clean outing, one clutch strikeout, one scoreless frame can change everything. Tanner Scott has been challenged. Now he has the chance to respond. And if he does, this tough love moment from Dave Roberts might go down as the turning point that helps solidify the Dodgers' bullpen for the battles ahead.